welcome to Community Cuts, live from Brooklyn, New York. Our hosts tonight, Donnatella and Rickie James. We have a host of topics that we're going to be talking about. Stay tuned to hear their voices. Thank you for supporting Community Cuts, live from Brooklyn, New York.
I want to see how to share.
Donnatella.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening. Welcome to Community Cuts.
Community Cuts BK in Brooklyn. Oh gosh. Come on, Duke. Aren't you still talking to us?
Well, I'm listening to you guys. You took a lead now, so go ahead. We love you guys.
Oh, so I don't know where to start. I feel like we're a big family. Can we first talk about how cold it is outside?
Yeah.
It's 14 degrees.
I didn't go to work today.
You didn't?
No, I did not. I stayed out. I'm a crossing guard for little kids.
Are you?
I'm at a retirement job, sure.
That's awesome.
The idea of me being outside freezing, the kids really didn't like that. So they told me to go home.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, the little kids told me to go home.
Were you wearing that same coat?
No, I was wearing a thick jacket with 3 layers of shirts.
Okay.
2 pairs of pants.
Really?
Boots. But
You have a
still,
hat?
I had a hat too.
Yeah.
There's a hood and a hat.
Okay.
They told me to go home. We don't like you cold.
And that's wonderful. And that's the great thing. So Community Cuts is more than just a title. We live and breathe community. And it's nice to know that the young people looked at you as their elder and said they wanted you to keep warm.
Yep.
Way to go, young people.
Yep, the kids are good.
That is awesome. I've been outside. Nobody told me to go inside and stay warm. I don't think they care about me. Ooh, let's move that bottle because they are not. There's another one back here. Oh, he's fancy. Let's put this back here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now you can't see it. But we do have a little bubbly in our red cups.
Yep.
Not Rickie. Rickie's just drinking orange juice.
Just drinking orange.
MyHungryWorld is here, oh my goodness. You guys, I am my largest weight.
Mm-hmm.
There is a huge big screen TV showing us. And for everyone who knows me, I was like a 0-2 most of my life.
Mm-hmm.
During the Christmas holidays, my parents bought me a suit so I could come back for 2026 ready to get a new corporate job, right? And when I went to try on the suit, I was like, I'm normally a 0-2, sometimes a 4. Let me get a 6. Oh my goodness. I couldn't even get the 6 over my thigh. So I ended up, shout out to Ann Taylor. I absolutely love them. Yeah, they're great for women's attire, corporate wear, business casual.
Right.
But I'm a size 10. And so the reason why I brought that up, I'm looking at myself on a big screen and there are rolls right here. So all my friends who don't believe I gain weight, there you have it. I have. Now I'm not going to breathe for the rest of the show. But besides the cold weather, do you know what's happening on Sunday? Sunday. In terms of weather.
A snowstorm. A snowstorm is coming.
Right.
We're going to be introduced to more cold weather.
And I heard this term from a meteorologist, a weather person that I never heard before. And now my mind draws a blank, but he was talking about how bad and treacherous this storm could possibly be on Wednesday. And they were showing this huge target rolling. And this is down in Virginia, right? And they were saying Virginia, North Carolina could possibly receive, drum roll, a year's worth of snow in this snowstorm.
No.
How do you fathom that? I mean, just think about it. Someone is now telling you.
Some weathermen are very, very excellent at their position, at their job. They pinpoint the weather to the hour, to the minute.
And some are not. Are we hoping that he is not? Are we hoping that North Carolina and Virginia? I'm hoping not. I have family and friends in those locations, and to think about, I don't know what kind of weather they have now, but here in New York, we're still having problems with parking. People who have cars,
digging out your car in the parking space. That's the job for
I'm happy.
A young man.
Right. And actually, in all seriousness, people should be careful with shoveling snow because a retired sergeant from the NYPD actually passed during the last snowstorm a week ago. So our condolences to his family, to his colleagues and friends.
These things happen. There was a gentleman on my block that passed away for shoveling snow.
Really?
Yes, way back in the early 2000s, the Y2K, he passed away of shoveling snow. I think that was a warning to everybody else.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, a lot of people don't understand how much your heart is actually working when you are lifting snow, especially if I recall, soft, freshly packed. I mean, it's pretty, and you're shoveling and you're lifting and you're throwing. So everyone check on your neighbors.
Senior citizens should not be out there shoveling snow.
Yes.
It's against the laws of physics. So.
Well, and nowadays we're having young people also have heart attacks, people with heart murmurs. You should actually talk to your doctors. And I'm going to share something that I learned through the Reset Talk Show. There are doctors that specialize in heart health. Right. And so everyone should.
Cardiologist.
Yes. But besides the cardiologist, there are actual tests that you can take to show how healthy your heart is. Right. And I'm also going to say to people, you should keep up with your A1C. That is something that my mother stresses over and over again to myself, my brothers, my uncles, everybody. Right. And that's if you want to make sure that you don't become diabetic, if you have family history of diabetes. And that basically means watch what you eat healthier, keep your sugar down. And I need to find out what my A1C is, because the last time I took it, it was elevated, but not to the point where, my mother would be like, right? So what have we learned in the first couple minutes?
This very day today, I did take a blood test.
You did?
2 vials of blood, and to get my check up for my cholesterol and all my other issues of weight gain and health, and taking pills. I take cholesterol pills, and then that doesn't. I've never run out of them, but it is something that I should watch my weight. So.
This is true. This is true, and that goes to. I'm glad you're talking about going to the doctor. It is a proven fact that men do not like going to the doctor. You wait until everything's just about to pop out, and then you go. Yeah. So I'm going to say for our men, our male viewers who are watching, as well as women, or however you identify, right? Because this is 2025. You should. 2026. That part. It's so cold, I can't think. But you should have your regularly scheduled doctor's appointments, especially since the U.S. is no longer part of the World Health Organization, right? There's flu out there. COVID didn't go away. And then there are all those diseases that people don't talk about anymore, right? And I don't need any of you little ladies coming to hit on my fellow host and you've got germs. We don't need that. So see your doctor. Have tests like colonoscopies.
And that's a test for every part of your body, inside and out. is the best thing to have. And this way you can walk around within yourself and feel healthy.
Yeah, and know that you are healthy. And there's another topic that we don't talk about on this show. We haven't talked about on this show. When it's cold, people tend to stay inside. And I heard someone say it only takes a snowstorm or another natural catastrophe for you to find out the person you're dating, you're not really dating them, right? Because once everybody gets locked in the house, you find out you're calling people's numbers and they can't talk because they're at home. They're at home with their loved one. I don't have that problem, right? Because I'm single with a big capital S. But you'd be surprised. It was just like, I don't know if you all had this experience during the pandemic, but when everything locked down and everybody was home, people were missing their office wife or office husband. And I mean that, not literally.
You're talking about the 60s. Those are the 60s.
No, I'm talking about 2020, friend. No. I mean, there are people, people have relationships and friendships in the office. At my last corporate job, I often ate lunch with the same people, right? There are people who go on breaks together. They have smoke breaks together. They go to the gym, right? If you think about it, I think the reason why a lot of relationships last, right? The people who have lasting relationships, people who are actively working, is because they don't really see their partner. Right. And that's what you found out during the pandemic, because if you have a corporate job, let's say a 9 to 5, I won't say corporate, in any industry, you are typically working an 8-hour day. Maybe you have overtime, right? And then it's the time that you have to get to work, the time you come back. You're typically not seeing your partner maybe 8 hours a day, Donnatella, 6 hours.
Where is the best place to meet a woman or a man for yourself to date?
I'm single, so how are you asking me? I don't know. You're the one that rushed home after every show.
The subway is the horrible place.
No.
The job is a horrible place. Too much compatibility.
I was told, and I sent the link to my mom, so I'm not going to say my mom told me that. She says I'm always lying on her, but I grew up in a single family home, right? So most of my morals that I have come from my mom and other people that I respect, right? So you don't date at work, right?
You don't date at train. You don't date at a social club.
Wait. You don't date at a social club?
No, the best place is from your mother, your relatives will introduce to you the proper woman for you. That's
well, that's only if you have a parent, and you said mother, right? Nobody gives the dads any credit, but you're saying we're in a different generation.
Yeah.
So maybe back then.
Well, this is what you were talking about is a repeat of the 60s. So.
No, I don't know.
Within the office.
So Duke is off camera. So I'm gonna blow Duke up. Duke, where do you think the best place is to meet someone?
I don't know. It hasn't happened for me. I don't know.
Where did you meet your wife?
Ooh! He's dropping titles. Because I thought I saw a good-looking son one day.
But I'm not married.
Well, so. He's like, you're not married? Okay. At one point, you met a woman somewhere.
At several points.
I
met a woman at several points.
So we're saying so I used to think, right, that going to church, I used to go to Allen, Greater Allen, in
Queens.
Yes, in Queens, Pastor Flakes church. Love the church. Y'all don't like Pastor Flakes?
That was too funny when he used to Pastor Flakes, and then you had no returns.
No, I like him. I like him.
That's what happens all the time when you go to AMU. So.
Yeah, I love the church because it's it felt like a Baptist church to me. And the way that I was introduced to that church, a friend of mine was having a christening for his son, and his son's mom, they invited me to the christening. When I went to the christening, it's such a beautiful church. It's large. It reminded me of Baptist churches in the South, and it was multi-generational, right? You know, there were elders there, which I like. There were young people, and they typically dressed the way I believed or I was brought up that you dress for church. I noticed in New York, a lot of churches have the come as you are. There's that big super church here in Brooklyn, CCC.
That's the church I attend. Yeah.
Okay. And I have a friend, her name is Tara. We went to school in Philadelphia together. She used to go to that church and she would invite me, but she would get up at like 5 a.m. because at one point, I don't know what they do now, they used to have multiple services on Sundays.
True.
Yep.
And I couldn't get into the fact that she said, oh, you could throw on sweats and you could come to church. And I was just like, that to me, it just didn't feel like church. But I think for the way the church is designed and being able to expand and grow, there are a lot of people who don't go to church because they don't feel like they have anything to wear. Because I went to another church and it was right when it was starting to get cool, and the amount of mink coats and things that was there, it was, you know, like a pretty people church. So that was stressful, but I didn't get that feeling. And now I attend Reflections Church BK, which is on Utica Avenue, and that's Pastor Louis Straker Jr. Church. And it is a church that you can come as you are.
As you are.
And now that I am overweight and can't fit my clothes, I appreciate that because I don't have the traditional Baptist attire, right, that I think you should wear to church.
Very good.
But yeah, so that's a good thing. Let's do some research and find out where to meet people.
Well, my sisters introduced me to the girls that I normally date. So
Can your sister find some young men for me today?
You get my brothers to do that.
Oh, right. Well,
a gentleman for you in a minute, you know.
Yeah, but brothers.
But it won't be right. You remember that.
Right,
it won't be right.
So my brothers are younger than me. They're like 5 years younger than me. When we were young, that's the difference. But now they're grown up. So I should be telling my brothers, although one of my brothers used to find people for me and I did not like any of them. So that is true. Al, people that Al recommended, I did not like. But we should make that a project, right? Are you single now? Or are you seeing someone?
Single. I have no one.
Are you're single and ready to mingle for 2026?
I have enough girlfriends already.
Whoa, Rickie!
I say that.
Oh
Rickie goes to karaoke.
Yes,
whenever the show is over, Rickie is pew.
Well, I got karaoke tomorrow.
Well, he invited me to a karaoke. Yes.
Tomorrow, if you want to go. It's 8:00. Same place.
Same place?
Yeah, same bat channel. Oh, man. Rickie said, I've got enough girlfriends. Well, and that's what I don't like about men, right? I said, are you single? And this is what men will say. Yes, but they have girlfriends. If you have girlfriends,
you're not single.
You're not single.
Yeah.
So how do you have enough girlfriends?
Go ahead, Rickie. Go ahead. I'll let you handle that one. I'll let you handle that one.
And you know, Duke, we stopped one time, Duke and I stopped somewhere to get something to eat from a small business owner that Duke is familiar with. I cannot think of the name of that restaurant. I would love to plug them, actually, because they do huge things for the community. They're on Flatbush and Lincoln. Are they Mexican or?
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
The taco place. They own,
yeah.
Like, they are literally the meaning of buy up the block.
Yeah.
They've got 3 restaurants on one side and another restaurant on the other side. Absolutely love them. And they participate in all the small business events, especially at Brooklyn Commons. They do a lot in the community. Absolutely love them. Can't think of the name right now.
I know what you're talking about, though. Yeah.
But so let's go to a not so pleasant topic, or maybe it's a little more joyous now because I believe they're home, and that's Don Lemon. And I keep forgetting the first name of the other young lady.
Don Lemons that I know of. Don Lemon, the
Are you serious?
Yeah, Don Lemon, the actor. Remember Don Lemon?
Oh, Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and then there was Don Lemon, the sports figure.
Don't know him.
Pitcher.
I don't know
Right,
that.
the pitcher, Don Lemon.
No, I don't know.
Don Lemon.
Georgia Fort. Her Instagram is by Georgia Fort. So yesterday, Don Lemon was doing his independent journalist thing at the Grammys in Los Angeles. And at some point, he was apprehended by federal agents. And Georgia Fort, I'm not sure. She must have been in the same. I'm not sure where she was when she was arrested. And I had not heard of her before this, actually. When I went on, as soon as I opened my phone today, the first thing I saw was an image of Don Lemon, and it's stating that he had been arrested. And I think it was on Isaac Hayes' Instagram.
Wow.
Right. And
that's an old one, Isaac Hayes on Instagram.
Well, I think it's Isaac. It's his son. I think because it's Isaac Hayes 3. So I'm not sure, but it's not the Isaac Hayes because he's deceased, right? The singer.
That's correct.
Yeah. So, it's a very interesting topic. I am a super fan of Don Lemon. I was when he was on CNN, when he came off and started his independent journalist thing. Love his Instagram. And I had the pleasure of making his acquaintance. I remember the date because I had to go look in my phone for it. It was June 26th when former New York City Mayor Eric Adams announced he was running for re-election. Mm-hmm. There was a big event at City Hall. I was there. I can't remember if I was there representing you guys, right?
Correct.
Okay. So yeah, that's when we first all fell in love. That's right. So Community Cuts BK got me a media pass, MyHungryWorld. Mm-hmm. I went there, and that's right. And I ran into J.R. Giddens from the Reset Talk Show. That was the most amazing event. And it was so hot that day.
Yep.
I don't know if I told you guys what happened.
I didn't go because it was too hot.
It was burning up. And what was worse about it, I got there, I went early. I did this whole reels using Instagram edits on the train. It was so hot outside that my iPhones, and I had multiple ones, they all overheated and closed out. So I lost my content that I was making on Snapchat. I literally had tears run down my eyes. I was so mad because I was like, oh, this is going to go viral. This is going to go viral. And once I got into the inside, so there was a long line of people, and then there were people who were for our current mayor standing at the front, heckling, doing all kinds of things. We went in through security, and literally there was a barrage of all the big networks, right? And people were kind of sitting down, and I went and sat in the middle of CBS and all those people. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I'm here. I'm a media person as well.
You are.
And it was great. Because of that, when it was, I can't remember if it was when it was before, I think it was before it started, I saw Don Lemon, and there's a young man who works with City Council here in Brooklyn that I ran into. I know him by face, but he actually told me he manages Don Lemon. Have his picture on my phone, still can't think of his name. Mm-hmm. And I asked him, hey, can I go up to Don Lemon? Can I ask him for a picture? And he was like, sure, wait till he's finished. Because I can't remember who he was speaking to. I think it was public advocate Jumaane Williams, because I have some great pictures of them. And I walked up to Don, and I could barely speak. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so happy to meet you. Do you think I could get a picture? So proud of the things you're doing. And he was like, me? Sure. Took a picture with him, mm-hmm. Sat down, watched the whole event. And then there were 2 young guys with him. And I was talking to them, and I was talking about, oh, social media is so great. And they're like, oh, we do his social media. So they gave me their contact information, started following them.
MyHungryWorld.
Yes. And But you know what was really amazing? The very next day, people started sending me posts from Don Lemon's page.
There you go.
They took a picture of me taking a picture with Don Lemon and posted it on his page. I think I got a couple thousand followers, and all I kept doing was DMing saying, "Can you tag me? Can you tag me?" But they never responded. So when I woke up this morning and I saw he had been arrested, it was like, oh my goodness, they arrested my cousin. Because that's how these on-air individuals are. What's the matter? You think you hear somebody on the stairs? Oh, I thought so. Just to let you know. But so I literally teared up because the first thing you think about, you hear everyone saying that they're being mistreated, they're being abused, the conditions where they're holding people aren't good. And then there are people who don't like some of his personal choices, right? We know Nicki Minaj has said some really, really upsetting things in the media over the last couple of days. And I was hurt. So I wrote like a little prayer in the caption. The last time I looked, it had maybe 300 likes and people were responding. And it's very interesting. Social media has provided a platform where I think...
Is it too big of a platform because it covers almost half the globe, some of these things?
No, well, Instagram is worldwide.
Yeah.
The last time at one point I checked, they had 400 million active accounts in a month.
Yeah.
Right? But it's a global app. But what I was going to say is social media has provided a platform where people feel comfortable saying things to one another via text that a lot of them wouldn't have the backbone to say in person. Yeah. And then under this administration, especially, people feel more empowered to say things that are politically incorrect or personally incorrect. And so it is very hurtful to see. But someone asked me in the comments and they said, "Oh, he was arrested because he attacked a church. What's wrong with you, lady?" That's a comment that they made. And so interestingly enough, when I saw what happened, the first thing I said was, I saw these people walking into a church and they were speaking loudly. I didn't see anyone doing anything that I thought was physically intimidating, right? But I asked myself, wow, if I was sitting in my church and a group of people walked in who had a belief other than mine, and they were shouting...
How would you know?
Well, it's based on the verbiage, right?
Well, you can't judge a person by what exactly is going on inside the church and what he's saying. No. So, okay. So what I said was, if I'm sitting in a church where I fellowship, there's a given that I understand the beliefs or assume beliefs of the people that are in, right? If people come in loudly speaking, and I know disruptive.
Well, if you're speaking loudly,
not all the time.
I said
praise the Lord.
Yeah, but I said if you're speaking loudly and you are shouting or yelling, saying things that are against what is being taught in the church, or you are attacking the pastor. Let's say that you're attacking the pastor. Like that couldn't have happened in Pastor Flake's church because he has a ministry of security and they're on little earpieces. You can't even get in. And then if you did, I would like to believe you would be trying to get out very quickly. But I kind of said to myself, wow, I don't know if that's a good thing, because it's setting precedent for you now to say it's okay to go in churches and voice your opinion. And so the other part that I was thinking about is remember, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just, using my Aries brain. Maybe what the organizer was trying to give an example of are the agents who are walking into people's homes, jobs, laundromats without proper paperwork,
Identification. That's what I'm
yelling
working on now.
and removing them and things of that
Yeah,
nature.
that's what I'm working
Maybe that's what they're trying to show an example of. And when it came to Don Lemon, I thought he was doing what a journalist does.
Mhm.
You know, they show up at places where there are these interactions where people are protesting, and they talk about it and they film it.
Yep.
And they ask questions.
Yep.
And when I saw him speaking to family,
Do you think they're doing right or wrong?
the journalists who show up,
Yeah.
well, I think
They're not announcing the fact that they're going to be there. They're just there at the time when they're marching. So I don't know if that's right or wrong.
well, it's the same thing with anything. If you know there's a protest, there's always the media there. Media is always there because someone has either filled out a permit and said the protest is going to happen. That's how protests happen.
On a permit, you have
Right.
to file and say what exactly is going to happen during that time. No ifs, ands, or but. Not because of he is there. This is going to happen and that is going to happen. So,
Right. But it's the media's job to cover what is happening. And so in this instance, there probably wasn't a permit. I don't know what the guidelines are for Minneapolis,
Mhm.
but there was an organized event,
Mhm.
and the organizer, I'm assuming, or someone reached out to the journalist and said, hey, here's what's going to happen on this day. This is what we're doing. And then the journalist said, hey, we're going to be there to cover it. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So when I listened to the live that happened, which was also unsettling, right? Because Don Lemon's page went live without Don Lemon, and two individuals were speaking, and they read out the actual charges that were filed by the grand jury. Right.
Mhm.
And so you have to remember that they tried to file charges against them earlier in the week, and it was thrown out because it wasn't enough. There wasn't an intent of a criminal act in order for them to be arrested on, I think, at state level. So they raised it, and Don Lemon did an interview where he said, hey, they're going to find a way somehow to arrest me, right? And so what these attorneys explained is that when you go to a grand jury, when prosecutors go to a grand jury, you can indict a ham sandwich. That is the saying. And then he explained why. And they said, if a prosecutor goes to the grand jury and presents a reason to indict someone, which also makes me think about everything that happened last year, right? The person who they're talking about isn't there. The defense team isn't there unless that person's going to be testifying. So the prosecutors can say anything they want,
Mhm.
right? And then what happens? You get arrested. And when they read the two charges, I listened to him and I was like, yeah, he went in a church, but was his intent to intimidate or do bodily harm? I think his intent was to cover the event,
Yeah.
right?
Like he said in the first place. So
Yeah.
So, like I said, if you have the intent of doing a wild thing in front of people, then you're as guilty as heck.
Mm-hmm.
Guilty as charged.
I think that at the end of the day, the church is a sanctuary,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
that's where everything stops. So because he was in the church, and I'm not saying that he was, I understand why he went in. I understand what he was trying to say and do, but at the same time, it's a sanctuary for the people who can't. They go into a church for protection.
You go into a church for worship. No one was in that church for protection, in my opinion. No one went in there to sing sanctuary. That is their every Sunday thing. So a father came out with his son and he said, oh, I have to go home now because I can't worship. I can't hear anything. That I understand. right? There's a difference from the scenarios that we said earlier. Oh, someone's in a gang and they're trying to hide out. Or, oh, I'm a certain nationality and someone's after me and I need asylum or I need to stay here. I'm running into the church for sanctuary purposes.
It seems to be all economics.
Yeah, but those are different things. And I just mean in terms of what you're saying.
No, I agree with that. But, at the end of the day, they are quoting whatever law that they have on the books, and they're going to make it reflect what they want it to reflect.
So, I learned.
If he had done that, I'm not saying, I'm saying, I know what he's trying to do. If he had done that outside of the church, it would have been a different ball game.
Minnesota, outside of Minnesota.
Well, not even Minnesota, but outside of the church itself, not entering the church. If he was on the sidewalk, but he couldn't stand on the sidewalk if he's covering the event that went into the church, right? I do think that I wouldn't want to see that happen to any church that I go to, right? I have empathy for the people who were in that church, but I don't think that they were threatened. I think it was wrong. Do I think it's worthy of him being arrested by federal agents? No. One of the things that, one of the charges, the maximum was like 10 years or something crazy like that, because he was not leading the event. Now, am I concerned about the Black woman who organized it and who was doing a lot of the vocals? Yeah. Did she do anything violent? The way she was articulating, was it meant to intimidate? I don't know. And I heard the actual law that they read, right? I don't think it was to intimidate, but I do think it was to question the pastor who didn't seem to be there or didn't come out, right? I think that is a huge thing, because the pastor supposedly is a high up titled agent with ICE. And so, I don't know, but I'm glad they're out because I saw
Is
that
it
he's doing a lot.
a Republican type of church or Republican?
It's so the term, and I could be wrong. It is I've heard the term referred as white nationalists.
Yeah.
Not technically Republican, but
their support lies to the Republican.
I don't know, but I know they don't. I know they don't really see value in Black and brown people.
At the end of the day, it's the church. Right, so it falls under that umbrella.
Yeah,
I hear you, but I don't. I think he shouldn't have covered the event. But then that's how those guys get Emmys. To be honest. That's how they get Emmys.
I concur.
Okay, so moving right along, Don Lemon, I'm glad you're home. Ms. Fort, I'm glad you're home. Hopefully, and he's got a real good defensive attorney. His defensive attorney doesn't have Instagram because I looked it up. Defense attorney Abe Lowell, I think is his last name. I saw some quotes on different profiles from him that are really good. And so we'll see what happens. I'm going to watch the live that he did, or he's doing right now, actually, because it started at 8:00. But let's jump to some other fun stuff.
Yeah.
What do you want to talk about before I talk about one of my favorite clients?
Talk about the client you sent to me.
Wow. Let me walk right in there.
Producer, film editor?
No, none of that.
All right.
So, which is interesting because of the title of the name, right? So, one of the things let me start off. I have a small business.
Yeah.
My small
You have
business.
several small businesses.
I do. Yes, I do, sir. Tonight we will talk about My Hungry World. So My Hungry World is a small business that's registered in New York State, and I provide a plethora of services. I'm also a registered agent. So if you have an idea in your head and you want to make it an actual business, I can create an LLC, a partnership, a corporation, a nonprofit, whatever it is you want to do. I can do all of that for you, right? In this instance, we are talking about Caswell Powell Filming Enterprise, LLC. Now, interestingly enough, you hear the word filming, a lot of people automatically jump to what you said, film production. And that's because we know you've made a few movies in your lifetime, right? I'm not going to talk about what kind of movies, but I'm teasing. But Caswell has a construction company. And so what I want you to think about, it's a form of construction company. And he
contractors contracted out.
Well, so now my first company client of the year to obtain their minority business enterprise, that's MBE certification, is Mr. Caswell Powell. And his business has been in the works, doing wonderful things since 2017.
2017, right? No, and so, pretty new.
That's not new.
That's new.
You know, that's because you had a business way back in 1901 for like 30 years.
Well, Donnatella, tell us how people can get in touch with you.
Well, for me, I'm My Hungry World. You can Google me, as they say. I'm available on all platforms.
Right.
But with Caswell, and I think this is what people should do, right? It's really challenging for small business. Caswell, well, that's actually his name.
Yeah.
His first name is Caswell. He is of Jamaican descent. I think it's a great name too. And it's also the name of his company, which means he's building a legacy for his business and his family, right? And what he wanted to do was to be able to expand his reach. And in doing that in New York State or any state currently, before this administration wipes out everything, there is something called MWBE, Minority Women Business Enterprise, which a lot of people are familiar with.
MBE also?
Yeah, so MWBE is 51% woman owned.
I was going to bring a book called Tools of the Trade for Women. What you going to do? What will you do if you lose those tools of your trade? This book describes exactly what you should be doing or what you should be taking care of. So it's a good book.
Who wrote it?
A woman in architecture. She wrote it. It was on sale. I bought it.
Wonderful. And I think she did a play on words, tools, and because she's an architecture. Yeah. And so what he does is architectural window glass filming. So think about this, right?
All right, yeah. I talked to my partner. He is the same business.
Any building that you're in, a lot of them have windows, right? Yeah. Have you noticed that some windows have tint on them? And so tint isn't just about blocking out the sun. Sometimes it's security film, right? And sometimes it's for aesthetics. So he provides this service, right? In corporations, private and public sector, residences.
Does he do the installing?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Does he do the cleanup work?
Yes.
Required? He did.
Full service. He does everything.
All the way around. Oh, very good. Very good.
And so what's excellent about it, and I've said this before on the show, New York State has about $240 billion in funding. And this funding is allocated to minority-owned businesses that are certified. So you can't just wake up and say, oh, I'm a Black or brown person.
Yeah.
Let me apply for this grant or this loan or this contract.
Is he associated or in the contractual issues of the American Institute of Architects? Because contractors go into that field in order to use the documentation and conduct things along the laws of architects.
Well, you can do that, right?
But he'd rather write out his own contracts.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right? There are multiple ways to do everything. For example, let's simplify it. You have a cheeseburger, right? You can go to the grocery store, buy your ground beef, buy your bread, your condiments. You can make it at home. You can go to McDonald's and you can buy a cheeseburger for $2. Or you can go to Peter Luger's and buy your cheeseburger for $40.
Yeah.
Right? When it comes to your level of expertise and credentials, we all know that Black and brown businesses have to work even 100 times more to do the same thing.
Mhm.
And the minority certification was created because right now,
That
large,
was my first question to them.
large capital funding usually goes to big businesses, right?
Mhm.
And so big businesses, in order to maintain contracts from New York State, they have to designate 30% of their contracts to minority certified businesses to ensure that they're getting a piece of the pie.
Like the American institution is worldwide. AIA is worldwide.
So is minority certification.
Now,
No, it's nationwide. Nationwide. It's not worldwide.
So when you go to open up a business, the best thing that is brought to you, especially if you're an architect, engineer, construction worker, contractor,
Mhm.
or preservationist, is getting your documents and in a proper order where it can just ring out to the state and they understand what it is that you're doing.
Are you when you say documents, are you talking about the designs that you do through
contracts?
AutoCAD?
Yeah, contracts, licensing, all that, all the way down.
Yeah, well, I get what you're saying, right? And so that is a large corporation that has.
Yeah, it's not a corporation. It's an organization run by the government.
So then they have billions of dollars in funding.
Trillions.
Okay, so the minority certification, you obtain that so that you can have a piece of the pie of what they're doing.
Yeah, but you have to join. You have to be visible and proclaim the fact that you are an architect.
So then it's not available for every industry.
No, you have to be inside the framework of what it is that they want you to do and become.
Well, then he's not an architect.
You write down the fact that you are this and this and that and this and send it to them. They'll put you in a category with all the people that are doing the same thing you are doing.
You don't have to be an architect to do it?
No, you don't have to be. You can be an engineer. You can be a preservationist. You can be a construction worker, a contractor. But they're all in the field of building a building.
Okay.
So it's a great thing to have. But if you're without it, you would just lose in a lot of different areas.
Well, I think that's true about anything because there's 9 different, so far, right? I've counted 9 different certifications that are available for minority-owned businesses. Right. And each one of those certifications, like there's one with New York, New Jersey Port Authority.
Right.
There's one with MTA.
Yeah.
There's one with there's a commission. It's a whole bunch of funny letters like AABB something. It's a concessions certification that allows you to get contracts in the airport for the concessions, right? Which is huge because I think I understand those contracts sometimes are like 10 years. So you get one contract, you eat for the next decade, right? And so for Black
and a lot of crooked people with the mafia and all that they do stand where it is, where in the concession stand of an airport, and they'll take your contract if you just bring it to them and say, "This is my contract." This is my, and those things, kind of things. Simply, the way I put it is, it happens all the time.
Well, we're not going to talk about the mafia today, right? Right. Goes without saying that there are organizations that have benefited in many different ways. And to be clear,
the mafia that went into the court and demanded the prisoner from the Sing Sing to be set free and given to him under his charge. Even
this was many years ago, right?
This was yesterday. He's a mafioso, and they told him, "You're a mafioso. You don't belong here," and they arrested him.
So.
In the courtroom.
For the first time ever, I feel the need to say that the comments and thoughts that are being expressed are no, I'm gonna look it up. Are clearly, that's all right. That's my name in the club. That's fine. Of us, the individuals, and not necessarily of Community Cuts. So, Mafioso, if you're listening, I didn't say that. No, but yeah, there are a lot of very powerful people doing a lot of things. Wow. But meanwhile, if you have any glass, window, or tint, remember Caswell Powell Filming Enterprise. So excited. Mm-hmm. And right now, there are some huge contracts going on.
Yep.
I spoke to another person with a small business. We are going to engage. We haven't engaged as yet. And they have a barber salon, right? And they were explaining to me how they had a contract to do the barbering for one of the local prisons. Oh. And so I thought that was an amazing thing. And I hadn't thought about that before, that you actually could have a contract where you go in and you're getting paid whatever amount you negotiate your contract for to cut the hair of inmates. Right? Mm-hmm. So any business that you have, if you're a Black and brown person, I think you should get it minority certified. Whatever monies you are making now, you are leaving food on the plate. Yep. All right. That was a lot.
That's interesting. I would look up that mafia general and read what it is that he did.
I don't want anything to do with him. My life is enough. Dear Mafioso, if you are listening, I won't be looking you up at all. Good luck with court. I have my own problems. Thank you. So I feel like we've been talking for an hour, and see, the man who has many girlfriends has signified that it's time to go.
Yeah.
Right. So, Duke, is there anything you want to say?
Well, I thank you both. It was an excellent show and a lot of energy here from both of you.
Yes, champagne and orange juice. The mimosas were nice. Mm-hmm. Did you like the orange juice?
Yeah, delicious. I drank it all.
I saw. To be clear, he's not drinking. Just I. Good night, you guys. Oh, I'm so hungry.
Good night. Good night. Good night.
This was fun.
Family, thank you for joining us at Community Cuts from Brooklyn, New York. BK is in the house. Excellent show with Donnatella and Rickie James. Stay tuned for next week. We come here to represent Brooklyn and the civic parts of Brooklyn as well.